Hello YouTube folks, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the internet. Today I am going to be talking about all of my favorites, be that vinyl or just general life favorites from fall 2020. If you are wanting to see what I have been really vibing with this fall, then go ahead and watch the rest of this video. We're gonna get to it, we're gonna get through it together. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, sorry, that's crazy. Let's get into the video. Alright, for anyone that's new here, welcome. Thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Lucy Claire. I am so excited to be sharing my fall 2020 favorites with you. And if you are coming back, thanks again for joining us. Before we get started, let's go to the record corner. Welcome back to the record corner. Today's music fun fact is that the Beatles song Martha My Dear was written by Paul McCartney, and it was about his sweet, sweet English sheepdog, Martha. I'm sure some Beatle fans already know that, and they're like, Lucy, why are you telling us this completely normal, obvious thing? But I did not know that, and it makes me love the song just that much more. All right, let's go back to the desk. All right, now that we're back from the record corner, let me bombard you with all the things that I like to see if you also like them or may like them. I guess the purpose of this video is just to show you what I like, so I should do that. First things first, I want to say that this video is going to be about vinyl, music, and then just my general life. Feel free to look down below. I have like the timestamps, and if you want to skip to a different section of the video, go for it. I know some people are on here for just vinyl, so head there. I won't section them off by specific albums this time, but I will put them in sections for their different genre categories. That's the word, not genres, categories. So with all that said and done, let's get into my vinyl favorites for fall 2020. Okay, I brought you to a little bit different perspective of my room just because I feel like it's going to be easier to share my favorites from this angle. Also, why do I look like a pumpkin today? Because we're doing fall favorites, and I figured what's more fall-like than pumpkin. Fall is almost over, so I needed a chance to wear this, so leave me alone, okay? So the first album on my favorites of 2020 list is this album, and it is Introducing the Hard Line according to Terence Trent D'Arby. His voice is amazing. And I looked up this album in order to get some info on it, and actually ended up learning a lot more about Terence Trent D'Arby than I thought possible. This album was released in 1987 by Columbia. Terence Trent D'Arby actually went through a transformation in his life where he decided to rename himself as a new version of himself, and he now goes by Sananda Maitreya. Basically, I just really love this album. My two favorite songs that I've been listening to the most, like on repeat, are If You All Go to Heaven and Sign Your Name. Sign Your Name is actually his biggest single. I believe even on Spotify that is listed as his biggest single, so I would definitely check out that song if you are interested in learning a little bit more about his musical style. You should go give it a listen if you like late 80s new R&B vibes. Second on the list is actually an album that I do not have physically with me, and it is The Smiths' The Queen Is Dead. I know a lot of my music junkies will be like, why are you just liking this fall? This is always a good album, and I agree with you. This is always a good album. So yes, I know, I'm late to the train. Please don't harangue me in the comments. I think mostly it's Morrissey's voice that I love. I was listening to some of his later work, and he basically just makes it the Smiths, but happier. I think his voice is really captivating. Anyway, The Queen Is Dead, which I will put a picture of here, was released in 1986 on Sire, and it is just a very cool kind of underground sound. Of course, my favorite song, which sounds so newbie to say this, but is There's a Light That Never Goes Out. I mean, that's just the best song. And I think the rest of Culture agrees with me. But if you don't, leave a comment below what your favorite Smith song is and I will go listen to it. I'm making a valiant commitment to listen to as many Smith songs as I possibly can. Third on the list of my favorite albums from fall 2020 is this album. It is John Denver's Back Home Again. I'm a John Denver fan. I am trying to collect all of his albums. If you have any that you don't want, hit a girl up. I've been slowly trying to collect every single John Denver album, and I have quite a few, but I have really been re-listening to Back Home Again. I think it might be because I rediscovered Annie's song because it's musically genius and kind of just fell in love with the album again. My particular version of this album was released in 1974 on RCA Victor, and my favorite songs are Back Home Again, the title track, and Annie's song. Something about John Denver is just so fall personified is John Denver. Now I want to talk about some of my fall favorites that are my favorites, but they're not vinyl. First, the music favorites. I'm going to put them in a category of music favorites. First being an artist, and it is Remi Wolf. If you have not heard of Remi Wolf, here's a few of her album covers. Every single EP and album and single that Remi Wolf comes out with, I am like, yes. It's very different from the music that I listen to on vinyl because mostly I collect, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but Remi Wolf is modern. She comes out with music now. She's a young woman in the, alt rap genre, and all of her music is chef's kiss, really solid tracks. My favorite are Photo ID, Monte Carlo, and Woo. That's WOO exclamation mark. All such good songs. I definitely recommend you try them out if you like, new rap or like alternative pop. I guess that's a big if for my audience, but if you do, go check it out. Another thing that I've really been loving is women singers from the 90s. I for some reason have just been living off of Mariah Carey riffs and TLC's rap tracks. Also in the list of things musically that I have been loving this fall is a new podcast that's come out, sponsored by Spotify by Parcast, that is called Today in Music History. They started it at the beginning of November, so fall is a stretch, but I'm thinking of it as fall. They started it in the beginning of November. And basically, it's this podcast that is put together by Spotify where every single day they choose something that happened on that day in music history. They talk about the event or the artist or whatever happened that day. One episode they did was on TLC, and they talked about from beginning to end the band's sort of momentum. But the episodes are only 20 minutes, and what they do is they'll talk about a period of the band's history, and then they'll play a song from that period, and then they'll talk about the band's history a little bit more, and then they'll play a song from that period. And I think it's just really cool to listen to, especially if you're driving and you want a mixture of a podcast and music, or if you're just a huge music history nerd like I am. I take time out of my day to listen to it. I'm like, what am I doing right now? Listening to Today in Music History, because I'm psychotic. You will not regret it if you like music history. You won't. Okay, the last thing that I've really been loving that's more just general life things is a projector for my room, because I have the huge blank empty wall that is behind me. It used to have a poster on it of the entire Disneyland park that was from the original open, and I kind of just got tired of having a giant poster across from my bed, so I decided to replace it. And when I took it down, I was like, wow, this wall is really huge, and maybe I should do something with it other than stick things that I have to buy on it. So I bought a projector, and it is so amazing. I have an HDMI cord that I plug into either my phone or my laptop, and I hook it up to my speakers that are back there by Bluetooth, and this baby is like having an 80-inch TV screen in my bedroom for $100. If you're someone who's really into picture quality and you don't want a single pixel and the colors have to be exactly correct, then maybe this projector isn't for you. But for me, it works perfectly. All I want to do is be able to watch my TV without craning my neck to see my Mac or thinking I'm going to throw my computer off in the middle of the night. And all three of the things that I set it up on, my Mac, my projector, and my speakers, all have sleep timers. So if you're someone like me who likes to fall asleep to movies and television, it's a really bad habit. Don't tell my parents. Blanket guarantee that you're gonna like it if you're not super picky and all you want is a huge TV in your bedroom, which I can't complain about. I think that's it for my recommendations and fall faves. All right, folks, that is it for my fall favorites for 2020. I am so happy that you watched all the way to the end. Thank you for doing that. Next week is going to be my 100 subscribers vid, so watch out for that. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos coming from my channel with content just like this. With that, I'll see you guys next week.